In the vacuum of space, it survives. At temperatures near absolute zero, it survives. At temperatures hotter than boiling water, it survives. Under radiation levels that would kill a human instantly, it survives. It has endured asteroid impacts, mass extinctions, and the harshest environments ever tested, and it is smaller than a grain of sand. Meet the tardigrade, also known as the water bear, one of the toughest life forms ever discovered on Earth. Today, scientists are asking a radical question. What if the secrets of this microscopic survivor could be used to protect human life, even on the battlefield of the future? So, do you want to know what a tardigrade exactly is? Well, tardigrades are microscopic animals that have existed for over 500 million years. They inhabit freshwater, oceans, moss, soil, even Antarctic ice. Despite their tiny size, tardigrades possess a biology unlike almost any other animal. When conditions become lethal, tardigrades enter a cryptobiotic state called TUN, shutting down metabolism to near zero. In this state, they are not alive in the usual sense. They are paused, and they can remain this way for decades. Tardigrades possess superpowers which make them unique and most desired. Or you can say prefect test subjects for experiments for the welfare of mankind. Let's discuss the superpowers of tardigrades. They possess abilities that sound almost fictional. They can survive temperatures from -272 degrees Celsius to over 150 degrees Celsius. Radiation levels 1,000 times lethal to humans. Complete dehydration. Vacuum exposure in space. The key lies in unique biological mechanisms. One protein, Dsup, damage suppressor, binds directly to DNA, shielding it from radiation-induced damage. Another mechanism replaces water in cells with protective sugars and proteins, preventing structural collapse. These adaptations evolve not for war, but for survival in unpredictable environments. Do you know, scientists were conducting real experiments? They actually tried transferring tardigrade traits into humans. In 2016, scientists made a breakthrough. They inserted the tardigrade Dsup gene into human cells. The result? Human cells became 40 to 50% more resistant to radiation damage. This experiment did not create superhumans, but it proved something extraordinary. Tardigrade biology can function inside human cells. Researchers now study tardigrade proteins to protect DNA during radiation therapy, preserve vaccines and medicines without refrigeration, improve long-term cell storage. The science is real. The implications are profound. Imagine bio-inspired soldiers. Is it a fact or just a fiction? The idea of tardigrade soldiers captures public imagination, but reality is far more grounded and cautious. No military is creating invincible humans. Instead, defense research focuses on bio-inspired protection, not genetic transformation yet. Applications under study include radiation-resistant tissues for astronauts, cellular protection against blast-induced trauma, improved wound healing and recovery, long-term survival in extreme environments. Human enhancement through direct gene editing remains ethically and legally restricted. The goal is protection, not superhuman power. But who knows when conspiracies become real, from myth into a global secret experiment. The idea is crazy, and it is also fearful. Ask yourself, will you accept any real-life Superman, human, or mutants from X-Men series? If it is possible someday, will you allow your child to be used as guinea pig or lab rat for experimentation of some filthy rich people for the purposes they want? Or are you afraid to stand against the Mother Nature? In this era, we need to accept that after a few decades this might be possible, and it may happen. But the real question is, are you ready to accept the reality? Organizations like DARPA and NASA study extremophiles, including tardigrades, to improve human survival. Potential uses include radiation shielding for deep space missions, long-term suspended animation research, and emergency preservation of injured patients. Rather than modifying soldiers, scientists look to temporary cellular protection, advanced medical countermeasures, bio-inspired materials. The future soldier may not be a cyborg, but a better protected human. I need your views, comments, your suggestions and fears in the comment box, and let us know what you guys are thinking about this. Cyborgs are the real future, or nature-aligned protected human species? Tell us, what are the future of mankind? I guess we must take the ethical line seriously. Using animal biology to enhance humans raises serious ethical concerns. Questions scientists and ethicists debate include: should genetic enhancements be permanent? Who decides who receives them? Could enhancement increase inequality? Where does protection end and weaponization begin? International law currently prohibits genetic modification of soldiers for combat advantage. Tardigrades offer inspiration, not permission. The line between defense and transformation must remain clear. Otherwise, there will be a series of destruction for humans. Because it fundamentally conflicts with humanitarian principles, human rights norms, and global security obligations upheld by the United Nations and the wider international community, such modifications would violate human dignity by treating soldiers as biological weapons rather than autonomous human beings, undermining the principle that, even in war, there are limits to what states may do to individuals under their control. Genetic enhancement for warfare also poses unpredictable and irreversible health risks, not only to the modified soldiers, but potentially to future generations if genetic changes are heritable, raising serious ethical and legal concerns. Moreover, allowing genetic modification for military purposes could trigger a dangerous arms race, destabilizing international peace and security as states compete to create enhanced soldiers, much like the prohibited development of biological and chemical weapons. International humanitarian law emphasizes the prevention of unnecessary suffering and the protection of human integrity, and genetically engineered combatants could lead to new forms of cruelty, discrimination, and exploitation. For these reasons, international law prioritizes restraint, ethical responsibility, and the preservation of humanity in armed conflict, making genetic modification of soldiers for combat advantage incompatible with existing legal and moral frameworks. The tardigrade is not a warrior. It does not fight, it survives. And in studying this tiny creature, humanity is not chasing dominance, but learning resilience. Its extraordinary ability to endure extremes teaches us that the future of soldiers, and perhaps of human survival itself, may not lie in superhuman strength or aggression, but in smarter protection, faster healing, adaptability, and a deeper respect for biology's limits and wisdom. Sometimes the most powerful lessons come from the smallest forms of life, reminding us that progress does not always mean becoming stronger, but becoming wiser, and that the future of human survival may quietly begin under a microscope.